Hello, soul searchers. Today, let's talk about water. So I just sat with the ancestors. Ignore what I got going on or don't, but I'm about to be doing my nails because your girl self-care hasn't been the greatest. We're gonna fix that currently. I sat with the ancestors this morning and they came through with a message about how water is the realm where everything is possible. In spiritual circles, you probably already know this if you're here, water is the realm of the emotionals. Water is the realm of the emotions, the subconscious. I also like to think of the etheric realm as kind of like a watery space, although obviously I have no way of knowing that. But just like the realm of possibility and space and all of that, I also kind of conceptualize that with water. And it came through because yesterday I took a trip with the Page of Cups in tarot. And Page of Cups is the student of the emotional realm. Usually he, she, they are depicted with a cup holding a fish, and they're just kind of looking at this fish like, all right, what are we doing? What's happening here? And there was a very distinct message, especially after the experiences that I had last night with this page. There was a distinct message about not getting lost in the sauce, not drinking the Kool-Aid, in a sense, hearing the messages for what they are, but learning how to remain detached and not getting caught up in the rush of the information, the rush of the emotions. So if you're finding this, I'm assuming that you're probably going through a highly intuitive period. You're probably getting a lot of downloads, a lot of information. Everybody's intuition looks a little different. So for some of you, it could be dreams. But all right, we might need, because we're cooking. It's been so long since I recorded, I forgot that this happens. One moment. Could just be having random epiphanies, random emotions, random ideas. And there's something very, I guess, important to know at this time, which is just to kind of take everything with a grain of salt. Really start to see your brain as a receiver. Just because you are getting the information doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Yeah, some of you guys may be drawn to like chaos magic. That may be something for you to look into. That's not really what this video is about, but perhaps I should be talking to you guys about chaos magic a little bit. I would actually recommend Ivy Corvus's channel. She's just a wealth of information, but basically the whole principle of chaos magic is that belief is what fuels your practice, your manifestation. It's simply your belief in something that makes it true. It's not that it's objectively true. So that may be helpful to some of you. If that confuses you, then forget about it. Just pretend like you didn't hear that part. Water is the realm where everything is possible. That was basically the message. And so this can get a little tricky because, again, water is tied to the emotions. And a lot of us, because we're feeling something, we assume that it's true, right? If somebody says something to offend us, then we can hold that and assume now that they're a bad person or they don't like us or blah, 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 you know, and it becomes like this whole thing when really maybe they didn't know they were being offensive. So it's kind of a realm where you have the objective thing that happens. This is coming through to me kind of like an oyster. Oyster? I just got Ghost in the Machine by SZA and Phoebe Bridgers, which is interesting. But no, it's it's coming through like a clamshell and then the pearl inside the clamshell. So it's like you have the pearl, which is the objective thing that has happened. So again, let's just say somebody said something to offend you. So you have that. And then you have the space around the pearl, which is like the inside of the clam. And that's kind of like the watery realm. So that's where every interpretation of what that actually meant exists. I really hope I'm explaining this well because I see it in my head so clearly. But hopefully you're following me. So yeah, it's every interpretation of what that person said exists. So you could be attached to the feeling or the truth that, oh, this person doesn't like me because they said this offensive thing, but floating right beside you is another truth that says they're just ignorant. They didn't realize that what they said was offensive. Right beside them is, right beside that truth is another truth that says they heard it somewhere, and they heard you laugh at it, but maybe the other person who said that same thing is the same demographic, or they have permission to say something versus the person who offended you does not. And so that's the difference in the, like, it's just the realm where everything is possible, right? Hopefully that is making sense. And so with the Page of Cups, there was definitely something about understanding this and being able to hear all the noise but not getting swallowed up by any one version of truth. I don't know why the detachment, because that's kind of how it feels, which is interesting because, of course, Page is a student and Cups is the emotion. So detachment is not normally what I would get with the Page, but perhaps it's because, you know, especially when gaining new insights, gaining new information, hearing different messages, the last thing you want to do, hold on. Last thing you want to do is hop on the first bandwagon that may not even be in alignment with your highest good, your highest truth, your highest values. You really want to be able to, like, kind of sit and juggle and filter through the options. So there is something, the image of the fish just whispering in the ear of the Page of Cups is ingrained in my brain right now, because it's really that. It's like the fish is tied to the water, feeding all of this information, and it's really up to you to not necessarily shun any of it, like listen to it, but don't necessarily accept that as your truth. Whenever you're seeing this, whether it's a year from now, the day I post it, there's something very intuitive going on with you. You may be feeling more psychic, or just like, again, a lot of information coming in, and you just don't want to hop on the first bandwagon. You know, you want to kind of flow and fill out the truth that is more in alignment with you. I just got Higher Love by Whitney Houston, so definitely a truth that is more loving, has a higher perspective maybe. It's not so combative and war energy, but it really is about coexisting and love. Because who doesn't want that sort of energy? There are agents of chaos out here, so I'm convinced there are people who probably don't. But if you're here, that's not you. Is there anything that I am forgetting? There is something about when you take these things as true, or accept them as your truth. If you just accept your first feeling as the end all be all and that's that, then you could end up getting pulled. I just got pulled into a void, but that's not really what I was thinking about. That's not what is the word in a river when it's like, apparently that word doesn't want to come up, so fuck it. But yeah, you can end up getting pulled into a void, basically pulled into a reality that, again, is just not in your highest good, not in alignment. This is a lot about vibration and how your emotions affect your vibration. And with the Page of Cups, the Page is learning that, but of course the goal is to become the King of Cups, which is he's of the water. He's not moved by the water. You know, he may flow with the water. He may, you know, move with the current. He may move against the current. But otherwise, he's always stable within his emotions as the king. Obviously, you can be any gender. But yeah, it's like that's the goal. And as a page, because the King of Cups, he may even drink from the cup and choose his reality. But again, he's doing it from a place of power, in a place of understanding how things work. Whereas with the page, you know, it's new. The intuitive hits, the psychic abilities, whatever it is for you, it's new. And so it's like learning how to navigate. And before you just start choosing into realities and truths and emotions and stuff, you really want to learn how to navigate. You really want to get your oars together and understand how to discern information, know which questions to ask, know how to check yourself. It's a really big one. Some of you guys, I just got the song Swimming by Florence and the Machine. And the word swimming specifically is really sticking out. Dory, just keep swimming. Yeah. Some of us, again, if you're here, there's like a newfound freedom of how we're just swimming spiritually in the etheric realm, swimming towards our goals in the spiritual realm, like doing things a little easier. But it's with so much opening up and becoming available, you do just want to have discernment. And so that is the purpose of this message, is basically just to let you know that the realm of water has all of it. It has the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful. And all of it is true. It's about either all of it is true or none of it is true. And it's really just about what you choose into. So it's important to be discerning and not just accept that everything that comes to your mind is true at this time. If it feels good for you, if it's in alignment with your core values, not what society says, but just what you have always valued, what you've always wanted for your life. If it's in alignment there, then it's probably good, but it's also okay to just sit and wait and reflect and journal and do the things. Especially with all of the intuitive stuff happening, it may help to put pen to paper or create some art or do something more physical, maybe even working out, just to help you kind of navigate these energies a little bit. But yeah, I think that is all I have for this message. I know it's a little different, but you got this. You got this. And I'm getting 3 cards. Of course, this started with the Page of Cups. We talked a little bit about how the God of Cups is the goal. I'm also getting High Priestess, though. And High Priestess is also connected to water. It's Piscean energy. And so the strength of the High Priestess is that she can really navigate that realm of known and unknown really well. So this isn't even so much about, I'm kind of getting a similar message with the King of Cups. It's not even so much about needing to know everything, but needing to know yourself as much as possible and your values. Because when you know yourself and you're stable within yourself, you're secure within yourself, then everything else becomes a little easier to peep. It becomes a little easier to discern and say, that's not actually me. That's not actually in alignment. I will leave that cup for someone else and try another one. And you absolutely have that right, okay? Utilize your free will wisely and effectively and lovingly, as always. But I am going to continue taking care of myself. I feel like I'll probably be talking to you guys quite a bit today. Hopefully I'll look better in the next video. We'll see. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video.